Hello young friends, welcome to Jhalak Youth Skill and Research Channel. Dear friends, hope you are all hale and healthy. I am very sorry that when we were having live streaming on wife swapping, so then my video got disturbed due to some technical problem in my mic. Okay, so till I get these things repaired and all that. So till that time, and for some personal reasons, I may not be in touch for some time. But in the meantime, I'll be preparing the videos on different knowledgeable aspects. So this is one of them. This is the Niti Aayog. What does it stand for? What does it mean? Dear friends, this is a very important short note. Students who are preparing for exams, it will be very beneficial for them, as well as for the general awareness. Also, our youth must know the government policies and functioning of various Aayogs. So here we are going to talk about Niti Aayog. So what does it mean? Right? Niti. Niti, it's a Hindi word, but that means the policy. Right? You might have heard the Planning Commission. Right? Why it has been made? It meant to substitute the Planning Commission. Planning Commission was established in way back 1950 for the betterment and development of our nation, to planning various strategies, and in that it has the 5-year for every planning. So that is why 5-year plans. So one 5-year plan agenda is this, the another 5-year plan, the agenda is this. So that way Planning Commission worked. But then, as you know, the development is a continuous process. Development means continuously occurring changes. So our government realized, viewing various lacuna in the functioning of the Planning Commission. So it has been replaced by the Niti Aayog. Commission means Aayog, right? Niti means planning or policy. So Niti, N-I-T-I. It is an abbreviation also when we expanded National Institution for Transforming India. Right? This is Niti and Aayog. So this is clear? So Aayog is ensured involvement of states in national policy. It has been observed that was the biggest lacuna in the functioning of the Planning Commission. It was observed that states are not collaborated at the equal footing by the central government. So Niti Aayog was constituted. It's a premier policy think tank and advisory body of our government, providing and directing and policy informations. So it has the functioning of the providing information, directional also, the directions, various kinds of directions and the policies. It has another important function, that designing strategic and technical know-how and long-term achievements. If we think that objective, so broad, there are two objectives. One, to evolve a shared vision of national development, priorities, sector and strategies with states cooperation. Second, commitment of government to foster cooperative federalism through structural support initiatives and mechanisms to make strong states. Viewing strong states make strong nation. Now, before going to structure of the Niti Aayog, let's see what is NAGC, right? NAGC is Niti Aayog Governing Council. It has an agenda. How it works? What its agenda? Its agenda is one district, one product policy. So, now you realize that it works at the grassroots level of the state. District is the smallest factor, administrative structure of a state. So, this is one district, one product policy. Now, Niti Aayog also cater knowledge, skills that will enable it to act with the speed, promote research and innovation, provide strategic policy and various decisions and visions of Government of India. Mega adventure, if we talk about like that, the mega adventure or the vision is to involve states direct in policies or strategic and technical plannings. So now we go for the structure of Niti Aayog. Members of the Niti Aayog comprises Prime Minister of India as the chairperson, Governing Council comprising the chief ministers of all the states and union territories with legislature and lieutenant governors of other union territories. Right? Number 3, regional councils will be formed to address specific issues. Regional councils has a very pivotal role to play to enrich states, to enable states to coordinate with the center. Regional councils need to address specific issues and contingencies impacting more than one state or a region. Right? The regional councils will be convened by the Prime Minister and it will consist the Chief Minister of the state and the Lieutenant Governor of Union Territories in that region. As you know, North, West, East, South regions. Thus, the chairperson has rights to nominate new members of the Niti Aayog, Now, the fourth most important pillar of the Niti Aayog: experts, specialists, practitioners with relevant domain knowledge as special invitees nominated by the Prime Minister. Friends, as I earlier explained, that the strategic planning as well as technical innovations, research, so everything Niti Aayog will cater. So therefore, we need the experts of particular domains, particular fields. Those are needed to develop our country as a self-sustained country, Atmanirbhar Bharat. There is another 5. Point number 5. There are 5 elements of the Niti Aayog. Like we have 5 fingers in our hand. Similarly, the 5th pillar is the full-time organizational framework. Though Honorable Prime Minister is a chairperson, comprising vice chairperson, members, part-time members, ex officio members, chief executive officers, secretaries as deemed necessary. So, this fact, this point, as you see, this is very, very, very important. It has a very important role to play in Niti Aayog. So, now we come over, as I earlier said, that it was meant to instead of planning commission. So, it was May 29, 2014, right? Independent evaluation office was established. Assessment report was submitted to Honorable Prime Minister on May 29, 3 days after he was sworn in. Right? This is the background that, as a general knowledge, you must be aware of it. IEO, right? Independent Evaluation Office, was headed by Mr. Ajay Chipper, right? So, this IEO has viewed the stakeholders and Planning Commission members as well, and coming time, in the next 13th August 2014, the Cabinet scrapped the Planning Commission. Then, the 15th August 2014, Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Modi mentioned to replace Planning Commission by National Development and Reform Commission. That was NDRC. Honorable PM informed to country that we are going to replace Planning Commission with the NDRC. Right? So, friends, these are the main points. Now, there were various from 2014 to till date. There has been various policies that has been considered, viewed by the Niti Aayog. Now, we take another few more things that on the 7th February 2015, Union Government of India had announced that Niti Aayog on 1st January 2015. Right? Niti Aayog would be meaning. What does it stand for? A group of people with authority entrusted by the government to formulate, regulate policies concerning transforming India. So this word transforming, that emphasizes the significance of the establishment, the vision behind the establishment of Niti Aayog. Then it is a commission to help government in social and economic issues. The another significant lifeline of our nation, that is the social and economic. Socio-economic aspect is a basic and the most important pillar of the foundation of any country. It's an institute of think tank with experts. So this way, I'm sure friends, you must have got a brief introduction, and I'm very sure by this video at least you can make a short note. You can write it down by seeing the video again, like even the tick mark question, right? Like it can be asked that who heads the Aayog, Niti Aayog? So this is the Prime Minister of India. Whosoever will be, so he would be the chairperson of the Niti Aayog. One more thing, dear friends, but the mantra is the back of them, the states. The states should be actively involved, right? States' role. Now we look into the states' role. Niti Aayog and state governments are expected to play a more significant role than they did in the Planning Commission. So it is very clear. That's the basic vision behind the establishing the Niti Aayog. Because as I earlier described you, that there was a biggest lacuna was this only, that states' role was limited in the National Development Council of the annual interaction of the Planning Commission. Now, member secretary. The Niti Aayog to be known at the CEO and to be appointed by the Honorable Prime Minister. Planning Commission, the secretaries or the member secretaries were appointed through the usual process. So this is another major difference. That was the functional difference when I said the role of the states. That was the functional vital role, and here this is the administrative vital difference. Here it will be appointed, and then the part-time members. Niti Aayog to have a number of part-time members depending on the need, so that enabling the Niti Aayog to work with speed and innovative style, and considering the latest research, strategies, planning. Now, Constitution. Constitution, as I earlier described, the governing council has state chief ministers and the lieutenant governors. While in the Planning Commission, the commissions reported to National Development Council that had state chief ministers and lieutenant governors. So this is the another functioning at the difference between the functioning level. Clear? Then organization. The Niti Aayog, naturally, it's a new Aayog. So, new post of CEO, secretary of the secretary rank, and the vice chairperson. And will have full-time 5 members and 2 part-time members. Right? 4 cabinet ministers will serve as ex officio members. So this is the organizational explanation of the Niti Aayog. Now let's have a look on participation. Niti Aayog consulting states while making policy and deciding on funds allocation. Final policy will be a result of that. While in Planning Commission, policy was formed by the Commission and states were then consulted about allocation of funds. Now the nature. Let's have a look of the nature of the Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog, as I said, I described earlier, the think tank and does not have the power to impose the policies. In fact, this has been considered as the biggest lacuna of designing or establishing the Niti Aayog. Though the another meetings and lot of other government realization, it is being discussed that Niti Aayog should be given the powers. Executive powers. Powers? Which kind of powers? The executive powers. So that the allocation for the policies, allocation of the funds to the policies, to the states can be given to Niti Aayog. Now, Niti Aayog will aim to accomplish certain thing. As I earlier told you that Niti Aayog has achievements, long-term achievements, right, to accomplish. Now, an administrative paradigm in which the government is an enabler rather than a provider of first and the last resort. This is very important. Then, progress from food security to focus on a mix of agriculture production as well as actual returns that farmers get from their produce. Further, ensure that India is an active player in debates and deliberations on the global commons. Because when we talk about the development or the standing of our country at international platform, global, then we have to consider these facts also, that our participation, nation's participation should be very active on the debates at the global level. Ensure that the economically vibrant middle class remains engaged and its potential is fully realized. As I discussed earlier, the socio-economic aspect. So this point comes under that. Leverage India's pool of entrepreneurial, scientific and intellectual human capital. This point also I have addressed earlier. Incorporate the significant geo-economic and geopolitical strength of the non-resident Indian community. This is a very important aspect. Like NRI, who are non-resident Indian, who are staying abroad. So how they can be incorporated in the policies of our nation development. Use urbanization as an opportunity to create a wholesome and secure habitat through the use of modern technology. So as earlier, it became like, urbanization has come up with whole hell of a problems. But here, this has been given emphasis that urbanization should be considered as an opportunity and the modern technology should be used for the betterment of the urban areas. Use of technology to reduce opacity and potential for misadventures in the government. That's equally important issue. The Niti Aayog aims to enable India to better face complex challenges through the certain other actions like leveraging of India demographic dividend and realization of the potential of youth, men, women, HR, human resources. Even I would consider it could have been added our senior generation as well. Though it is not written here. Leveraging of India's demographic dividend and realization of potential of youth, men, women through education, skill development, elimination of gender bias and employment. Further, elimination of poverty and the chance for every Indian to live a life of dignity and self-respect. That's a part of our social values. Then redressal of inequalities based on gender bias, caste, economic disparities. Further, integrate village institutionally into development process. Now, that is why I said the district to one policy. So, district covers the villages. Policy support to more than 50 million small businesses, which are a major source of employment creation in suburban areas and the rural areas. Safeguarding of our environmental and the ecological assets. As India is environment friendly country, we are very much aware of our biodiversity and our environmental conditions as well as protection of environment. So, dear friends, this is all about Niti Aayog. I am sure now it will enable you to write a short note beautifully and to cover all objective type of questions. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for watching the video.